The early 70s was one of the great eras in flat racing. Foaled within 12 months were Millreef, Brigadier Gerard and Nijinsky.
And there's Lester with that sort of fishing rod type of whip he has. It's about 6 inches longer than any other jockey. He doesn't use it any harder, but I think he finds that if he waves it in front of a horse will see that the whip is coming when and if he wishes to give them a sharp reminder.
The great Clive Graham died in 74, the year that Attivo enabled Peter O'Sullivan to rout the bookies.
Not easy to move such speed through a crowd, but Pedro's undoubtedly an expert. Now he's through in the dangerous area of Tatsel's ring. He's having a look at the odds board to see what price it is.
Chester Cup, Northumberland Plate and Triumph Hurdle all fell to the brave little battler. Even television, however, has its limitations.
And they're running down towards the third flight. You'll just have to take our word for that.
A mile and a quarter they've got to run, and the Shonda has stayed in the stall. Let's go and try and join the remainder. In fact, we haven't got a camera that can keep up with them at all.
As they jump to one in front of the stands, the 7th. Golden Autumn, except that there aren't any stands, of course. Since 1953, the sport of kings has become the sport of queens. No monarch since King Edward VII has owned the winner of the Derby, but Her Majesty has enjoyed some famous days. Perhaps most memorable, the Prix de Diane, the French Oaks, in 1974, won by Highclere. On the eve of the royal meeting at Ascot, Highclere's success was one that the royal party will never forget. Only Dunfermline, in Silver Jubilee year, gave comparable pleasure. In the late 60s, television created the slow-motion action replay. The stewards too had their camera patrol. Access to these new techniques led to stewards' decisions unthought of in the pre-camera era. For instance, the disqualification of the first 3 horses in a race at Royal Ascot in 1974. The camera showed that the horse on the rails hung right, the horse on the left hung left, and the horse behind went for a gap that wasn't there. So incredibly, the 4th horse got the race. And such was the impact of television exposure of starts from the old-fashioned barrier that eventually, in 1966, the stewards were finally forced to introduce starting stalls. Now, 20 years on, it's hard to imagine a different system. And finishes like this, the epic battle between Monksfield and Night Nurse, put pressure on judges to eliminate the slightest margin of error. Ironically, Aintree was almost the last racecourse to install a photo finish camera.